Now, there we go. It should be recording. Switching over. Alright. Sitting down. At the chair. Okay. 45 to get this bad boy accomplished. That lime has been sitting there for a while. But either way. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, also known as SixxFox, and today I want to do something a little bit different that I have had in mind. I finally have gathered up a decent sized collection to finally showcase to you guys, and you guys will probably already know by the title of this video, but I want to be showing you guys my vinyl collection today. Hopefully the lighting looks a little bit better. I'm kind of in an experimental setup right now. I wanted it to be kind of what my little studio looks like, part of my bedroom, and just kind of something different from the usual background. And I think I got everything set up, but that's besides the point. So either way, ladies and gentlemen, something that I recently just got into that I want to share with you guys because I think it's a very neat hobby for those of you that are looking to get into it, or if you guys want to just collect something, or you want to try to, God, honestly, I have no clue. It's just fun. It's just fun, to be honest. But basically, vinyl. I feel like I just did the meme like aliens, but we did the vinyl. So today what I'm gonna do, and I don't want to repeat myself, is showcase my vinyl collection. Now, I've only been collecting for maybe 2 to 3 months. It hasn't been that long of a time, but I have racked up a decent enough collection where I can actually show you some of my music interests, some of my different tastes that I have, and also kind of pinpoint some different records that may have a little bit more meaning to me than others, and why I collect them and things like that. Now, hopefully I can make an update video in the future that kind of expands this, and you get to see the progress in my collection, because I need to throw out a little warning quick. So, the little warning is most of my collection is metal, metalcore, heavy rock, whatever you want to call it. I'm a big metal fan, I collect a lot of metal, and I've recently just been trying to mix it up, to kind of broaden the genres a little bit. Now, that isn't the only thing that I listen to. I don't want you guys to get the idea too that just because the little selection I'm showing you today isn't the only thing I do listen to, alright? There is a lot of music that I listen to. This is just what I have happened to gather up within the last 2 to 3 months, and have had the absolute die-hard interest to pick up the physical copy. Now, okay, I'm gonna talk more. I'm gonna talk a lot. I'm just gonna start showcasing the collection right now and kind of going through them one by one, and I'll describe a little bit more why I chose to collect vinyl and different reasons why I think it is a super fun, cool hobby that maybe you guys would want to pick up as well. So I'm gonna grab the first stack. I got them chunked up because I got like 27 within like the last 2 to 3 months, which isn't a lot, but it's a good chunk. I think I'm about like $800 in just on records alone, which is a lot. The first little stack that I have is one of my dear die-hard bands that I will probably never fall out of love with, and it is one that I discovered in middle school during the so-called "you're just going through a phase" stage, which was kind of funny because I still listen to them today, which is ironic because they are an absolute amazing band. Some of you may know them. This is going to fit into that metalcore pop punk genre, and that is going to be A Day to Remember. Now, the reason I got them all bundled up is because I literally own every single one of their vinyls except Common Courtesy. Actually, an Attack of the Killer B-sides. That was more of like a little EP kind of thing. I don't know exactly what you want to call it, but basically those songs that are on that record are on these records right here. Now, I'm gonna do pop-ups, which you guys are gonna be seeing right now, of each of the individual records. That way you guys can get better close-ups besides me just kind of holding them up. So I'm gonna save my absolute favorite for the last, but one of the A Day to Remember records that I love the most is actually their old record. My favorite song off of this one is Casablanca Sucked Anyways. This song is absolutely amazing. You guys should definitely check this record out if you guys are kind of looking to get into A Day to Remember, or if you have haven't heard them, I wouldn't suggest it as maybe the first thing to listen to, but if you want to hear their old roots and not necessarily their newer music, this is definitely something I would recommend to check out. I love the art style, I love the cartoon characters, and just the old farts that they are. I don't know, I picked this up for $20. It was a pretty good deal. I like it. So the next album that I have by them, there's not that much cool artwork going on with this one. Actually, I lied. So Homesick by A Day to Remember as well, they actually got this really cool, look at this, tie-dye vinyl with blue, purple, white fusions with the dragon in the middle. This is absolutely amazing. I don't care if you like vinyl or not, you gotta admit this is cool, okay? This is cool. So that is something that's kind of special about this one as well. This one is a pretty good record too, not gonna lie. This is a really good record. It's not my absolute favorite by them, but these got some banger songs on here for sure. Like, Homesick is not going to disappoint you. I do have one of their newer albums called Bad Vibrations. I think if I remember off the top of my head, this came out in like 2016. This is a very good record as well. One thing I do like about this is it's like a fold-out vinyl, which is super huge. Hopefully you guys can see this. Once again, I'm going to be doing some overlays with some close-ups so you guys can actually see the detailed artwork. And that's one thing that I like about collecting vinyls that I said I was going to mention earlier, is the amount of time and the amount of artwork that goes into each one of these. Seriously, you don't get this with CDs, you don't get this with Spotify or Google Play or whatever it may be, and literally just going to the record store and sifting through the actual vinyls one by one, trying to find the specific one that you have in mind. There's just something about it that, I don't know, I like it. Don't get me wrong, you could order them off of Amazon and eBay, and there is select records that you need to do that for, but I prefer to go to the store and sift through them the old-fashioned way, which is kind of cool, because speaking of that, I actually got back from the vinyl store not too long ago, and I got some recent pickups that I can show you guys as well, too. So one of the other ones that they have is For Those Who Have Heart. This has been redone multiple times by the band. It's a very simplistic album. I actually picked this up somewhere. It was like a knick-knack store for some reason. That's why it doesn't have necessarily like an official cover on it. It's more of just kind of a little slate to protect it. I don't even know if this was actually printed, but I don't know. It's just weird, but it has the songs on there, so I like it, and it does what I need, so it kind of fits the point. The last one from A Day to Remember, just because I kind of grouped these all up at the beginning just to kind of get them out in one bundle and show you guys the albums I have by these artists, is going to be my absolute favorite one of all time. This is an absolute timeless piece right here. It is phenomenal. If you guys want to get a taste for A Day to Remember, please listen to this album right here. This will definitely give you an insight to what they are all about, and I definitely bet you guys could find a song that you like on there. This one is called What Separates Me From You, and what I mean by some of these records have more of they sit home a little better than others, is this one is definitely the entire like middle school, high school career, going through all of your like troubled teen years, whatever you want to call it, but still, even to this day, the songs still hit too close to home sometimes, and that's absolutely what's beautiful about it. It's just the connections that you can make with the music. And once again, they got a pretty cool tie-dye vinyl with some black and blue and white. It seems like it's kind of a common theme among the vinyls. The only cool thing is it's like a sewer in the middle. It's supposed to be like a little sewer plant, and they're all staring at the bottom, which I kind of think is kind of cool. Kind of adds a little bit of artwork and keeps it interesting, but that is all for my A Day to Remember collection, and now we can kind of go move on to some other little one-shot pieces that I've added in the collection, which is going to be a lot of metal and also some other little genres that we can kind of browse. I always hate trying to stick them in the sleeve because I can never get them in there like properly. So hopefully this one isn't going to be too hard to see. I did receive this one for a Christmas gift, which was super awesome because I was actually looking to pick this one up for myself, and it's actually Logic. I don't quite exactly remember which... Oh, it's The Incredible True Story. Sorry, there's so many albums, I don't listen to them all the time, and I like Logic a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't listen to them constantly every day, so that is one reason I couldn't remember the name. But The Incredible True Story, I absolutely love the artwork artwork on this. Now, it is a little weird because this is the front of the album, but you actually open it like it's like left to right or something like that. I don't know, it's backwards. But what's cool is it's actually a trifold. So I'm gonna fold it out here. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I'm going to do the overlay so you guys can see its full transformation. But it literally turns into a giant landscape profile of everyone in the spaceship. Like, you got to admit, that is literally the sickest thing that you guys have probably ever seen. That is, the artwork on this is phenomenal. They put so much time and effort into this. The songs on here are absolutely killer. Definitely another good artist for you guys to go check out too. Now, this one is going to be great. Most of you guys are probably going to know him as Filthy Frank, and if you don't, you might know him by his alternative name, Joji. He actually just dropped a full album not too long ago called Ballads 1, and believe it or not, I found this sucker at a cheapo record store for $20. I didn't even have to order it from his site, which once again, that would be a nice way to support him. I was planning on ordering it. I didn't have the money at the time, and then I happened to stumble upon this when I was at the record store, so I had to pick it up. This is still one of my favorite albums. There's really nothing too crazy about it. It's just a simplistic jet black vinyl and good old Joji face. You gotta admit. But either way, I love this album. I'm so happy that I found it. It was another good one to add to the collection. The next two that we're going to be getting into are my two recent pickups that I actually got today. This album I recently re-listened to. This was kind of my middle school vibes in a way, and I recently decided to give it another listen, and it just seems to hit a little bit more home than it did in the past, and that is going to be Kid Cudi's Man on the Moon album. Oh my god, seriously, every song on this album is absolutely killer. We got the backside there, the front, it is so amazing. There's really nothing fancy going on the inside or the vinyls, they're just jet black, but either way, this is just another classic piece. Kid Cudi is an amazing rapper, he's one of my favorite rappers, and another piece, if you guys haven't heard of him, please go check him out. I know most of these guys are kind of mainstream artists, and you guys most likely have heard of these, but either way, in case if you didn't, I got them in my collection. Go check them out. Now, the next one, I know this is super cliche, and I just bought it today, and that rhymes because the next one is a rapper. I'm just kidding, that was a terrible transition, but either way, I got Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone. This is something I absolutely had to pick up just because I like Post Malone. I don't care what you guys say, I like his music, I think it's great. He's a good guy, he's goofy. I watch him on the H3 podcast and things like that, and there is artwork. I'm not gonna necessarily try to like mangle it right now to show you guys, but I'm gonna overlay the images of the artwork that is inside of this album, which is absolutely hilarious. It is so like Skyrim, Dark Souls kind of video game inspired, and it is just so funny. I want you guys to judge it for yourself. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm literally gonna put them up on the screen right now for you guys to go look at, and let me know what you think. This is literally the artwork that Post Malone put inside of the album. And I wish I could say it wasn't true, but it is. Alright, so the next album that I want to show you guys was actually presented to me by a friend of mine, and it is one of the best albums that I think I can sit there and listen to front to back over and over and over and not get tired of it. And to be honest, I really don't want to share this band with you because they're not very well known, and I don't want them just to blow up all of a sudden, which I know I have no control over that, but either way, I'm going to grab the album and show you guys. This baby right here, this is their actual newest album. I don't remember how long it came out, I think it was a year or two ago, but either way, this is Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I know the name is very random, and it doesn't seem like that would be good at all. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. But please, by God, if you guys love, I don't even know what genre to call this, but just damn good music, go check these guys out. This whole entire album will literally hit you in the feels, and they have a song for everything that you need. It is literally like Fleet Farm of music. If they don't have it, you don't need it. Like, it is beautiful. And this is actually one that I'm gonna take out. The inside is pretty simplistic. I will try to show you guys this on camera as well. Once again, I'm gonna get the pop-up here so you guys can see it in more detail with better lighting than me just sitting in my room. But this album is absolutely amazing. Not only does it have an awesome space cover with a rip through it, but the actual album itself, if I could pull it out, is the most vibrant purple that I've probably ever seen, with a space section in the middle. That is the most, I don't know, it's amazing. Alright, there's really not much less to say. This is one of my favorite bands that I have been introduced to within the last few years, and I highly recommend you guys go check them out. So the next one that we got in the collection is actually going to be Blink 182. That is correct. These guys are the definition of middle school. I had to pick up this record for the nostalgia purposes, and besides the point, their songs still to this day, in my opinion, are amazing. I listen to them every now and then. Sometimes I binge listen to them. It depends on what kind of mood I am in. But literally, I had to get this. Like, the top songs on here, which are obviously some of their big songs that I picked them up for, would be such as All the Small Things, Adam's Song, sorry, I can't talk today. What's My Age Again, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. All the other songs are okay, to be honest, but those are the big ones. Those are really the big ones. There is a whole bunch of other ones that I like, but they're just on separate records that I currently don't own, but hopefully will in the future. So that could possibly be in a later update video. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but this one is of Mice and Men, another very good metal band if you guys are looking to get into that genre and looking for some new artists. Before I do skip ahead, just to kind of speed things up just a hair, I do need to showcase this vinyl a little bit. This baby is literally pure gold. Not like actual gold, but like it is gold though. Look at this. If this isn't sexy, then I don't know what is. This is one of those albums that I actually kind of want to get a frame for, and I kind of want to just put it up on the wall. And to be fair, I haven't listened to it that much recently. When I first got it, I listened to it quite often and almost too much, and then I got more and more vinyls into my collection, and then I just kind of stopped listening to it. So I would like to actually put this one in a frame, or even get like a duplicate copy and then put that duplicate copy into the frame. But the next one I have on the list is Misery by The Amenity Affliction. This is another very good metalcore band. This is one of their newest albums. It might be their newest, actually. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a hot minute, but either way, highly suggested if you're looking to get into some type of heavy metal or metalcore. These are a great band. This new album, they mixed it up a little bit from their previous music, but still a very, very good piece and very good artwork as well. Nothing too crazy, but very good overall. Now, I'm probably gonna butcher this next guy's album. I think his name is Action Bronson. I think that's how you say it. And you might be questioning how I don't know how to say his name, granted that I own his album, but to be fair, I literally bought this one album for the one song, Baby Blue, featuring Chance the Rapper. If you guys haven't heard that song, it is absolutely funny, but yet again, it is like the most realistic rap song, has good jazz groove vibe to it. I don't know. That's literally the reason that I bought this vinyl for, and then I just decided to kind of listen to the rest of the record, and you know, hopefully there were some other songs that were on there that I enjoy, which they're not bad. I don't think I would, you know, like, I don't know. I don't listen to it as often as I would like, but it's still something nice that I added to my collection. Now, we're just gonna go through a couple more really quick. These necessarily don't have the most significant meaning to me, but they are still very good music pieces that I do enjoy and listen to almost every day. But just due to the time of this video, I do want to kind of get through things a little bit faster, so we're just gonna start going 1, 2, 3, and if anything else pops up that I need to talk about that may be a little bit more influential or interesting, I'll let you guys know. But the next one that we have on the list is going to be Reverence by Parkway Drive. Once again, another very great heavy metal band. This one's a little bit more rocky, still very good. He's got very interesting vocals, just as a little FYI if you want to go check that out. Once again on the list, I have another The Amenity Affliction album. This is one of their older albums, one of their better ones in my opinion. I was very happy to find this bad boy at a Cheapo Records and added it to my collection. Next up, this one I just want to talk about. I just very quickly want to reference. This is Mac Miller. This is literally kind of sad in a way, not just because he died, but because more of I never really gave his music a chance while he was alive, and then once I heard the news of his death, I decided to listen to his music and found out that this album right here is freaking gold. And I'm not trying to say that just because the man is dead, but seriously, it has the most 50-50 mixture of like chill groove jazz mixed with rap at the same time. It's just so upbeat and it's so freaking good. Ladders is my favorite. Self-Care is pretty damn good. 2009 hits you right in the feels. There's so many good songs on the album, so I just wanted to put that little FY out there, but we'll get to the next album. So the next two that I got up are two from my childhood as well that I still listen to quite frequently today. It's going to be Linkin Park. I actually only have 2 albums. I'm looking to get more, but right now, just with my budget and the small collection that I have, I only have 2. So I have Linkin Park Numb. This one's a very good album. They did split up the songs in this album very weird. There's like 2 vinyls, and on each side there's only like 3 songs, so it's kind of inconvenient to listen to, but it's still a very good album, and that's why I picked it up. And of course, Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, literally in my opinion, their #1 album. It has almost every hit song, and don't get triggered because I know there's hit songs on other albums, but literally you can listen to this album front to back compared to anyone else of their albums in my opinion, and like it just blows my mind. It's very inspirational album to say the least. I enjoy all Linkin Park albums, and I just wanted to say this is by far my favorite one. Another little off-brand album that we have is actually Pearl Jam. I don't remember what this one is called, to be honest. I don't listen to Pearl Jam quite that often, but there is a handful of songs that I do like to listen to, which made me go out and buy this album. So that's just another little neat one that I do have in the collection as well. Now, one of my other favorite metal artists that is still going, and this is his newest album, is Beartooth Disease. Like I said, I know this is going to be a little bit more of a metal-based episode, just because that tends to be what is most of my collection at this time and period. But if you guys ever are looking for new music and want to get into metal, and I know I've said this a million times, but seriously, check out Disease. You don't have to look at the entire album if you want to look at one song. I literally suggest Disease. It is called the exact same as the album, so there's no way that you can miss it, and that song just has way too much power and meaning behind it, and even if you're not a fan of metal, I think you can still appreciate it for what it is and listen to the lyrics on it. It's very good. So I'm really happy that I found this one, got her into my collection. And then just to kind of cap things off here, I do have Rise Against. This is the siren song of the counterculture. Rise Against is a great band. I actually got one of my roommates one of their vinyls for Christmas, and I need a couple more of these records in my collection just because Rise Against is one of my favorite rock, punk kind of bands, whatever you want to classify their genre as, but definitely need to get more of their albums into the collection for sure, possibly in a future update video. This one was kind of random. I did get a Rob Zombie album. I really like White Zombie, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily haven't looked too much into Rob Zombie's actual specific work that he has done himself, because he's kind of branched out from his main band and started working on his own solo career, but I figured I would give it a try. It is one of his newer albums. It is very interesting to say the least. It's quite different, but what really caught me is the album cover. It ripped off. It was more of like stickered on, but it's this very trippy holographic kind of image. Definitely caught my eye when I got it, so I had to pick it up and, you know, threw it into the collection. And I just gotta point out, the album is called The Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satan's Orgy Celebration Dispenser, for your information. This one is going to be a little bit random too, but this one's from actually 1982, and it's the Missile Command soundtrack. This was actually gifted to me by my grandpa, ironically, because a couple years ago I was very into collecting retro games, which I haven't quite fell away from, but I've definitely stopped adding to my collection. And at that time period, my grandpa was collecting for his vinyl collection. He actually thought that this was a record or a band and found out it was just a soundtrack for the Atari. Atari. Then he figured out I was into retro games and gave it to me for a Christmas gift, which I thought was very neat. I've listened to it once, and it's probably just about that. It's worth listening to about once, unless you're willing to go back and play Missile Command on the Atari. Then you may have to listen to it twice, but it's interesting. Now, to kind of come to a full circle, where I started off the video with a bunch of albums by one artist, I am going to, in good fashion, end the same way by ending with one artist with a bunch of albums. Now, these guys are dropping a new album coming out in January, and they are a deathcore band who has gone pop. And for those of you guys that know who I'm talking about, that would be Bring Me the Horizon. They were one of the first bands that I kind of binged bought for my vinyl collection, and I'm looking forward to their new stuff. I just listened to their new song Medicine, actually, and it's very interesting. It's definitely different, and I don't know, I'm looking for their progression, or looking to see where they take their music from here. But just to do a little quick showcase, I did buy, they were Bring Me the Horizon 2004 to 2013 greatest hits. This was just kind of a nice, simple way for me to get their old school music to their newer stuff all in one album, so I can kind of cipher between the old and the new. Basically, to put it as simple as forms. Then I did pick up their most recent album, which did get a lot of criticism and also good complaints at the same time, and that is going to be this jet black one. I know it doesn't look like it has much, but actually on the front, in very, very lighter black than what the actual album is, it says That's the Spirit. For those of those Bring Me the Horizon fans out there, you guys already know what this is. You guys already know what I'm talking about. I do like the inside though, however. It is very, very fusion, what's the word? Tie-dye, I guess that's kind of the word. I don't know. This is one of their most poppiest albums to the date, except for the new one that's supposed to be coming out in January, which is supposed to be the poppiest one yet. So, I don't know. I liked That's the Spirit. I thought it had a lot of good concepts, a lot of good songs, and I'm looking forward to their new one. And then besides That's the Spirit, I did get their good old Suicide Season album. This is one of their old records. I think it's from like 2008, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around that ballpark. But there's a lot of good songs on here. They are a little bit more heavy, not as heavy as their Count Your Blessings album with like Prayer for Plagues and things like that, but I'm looking to get those into my future collection. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna try not to make this video long. I feel like I made it way longer than it needed to be, but hopefully you guys learned something and this was kind of interesting. I wanted to mix up the content a little bit. I wanted to step away from, you know, skits and games and everything else, and just kind of sit down and show you guys one of my more recent hobbies and one of my more recent interests, and hopefully you guys found some good, interesting things behind this and maybe want to try collecting vinyl for yourself. I don't know, there's just something that's neat about it, that you get physical artwork and individual records versus just kind of streaming it all the time on YouTube and Spotify and actually going out and finding it. It's fun. I know not everyone's gonna understand that, but it is, and it's definitely worth a try if you're looking to pick up something new. But either way, those were the 27 records that I have gathered in about 2 to 3 months. That is the end of the video. Maybe I'll make an update on this in the future with a bigger collection and some more variety and kind of showcase you guys that. But either way, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it to the end of the video. That is all that I got for you guys today. Until then, I will see all of you guys in the next video. Gotta grab this. Cheers.